Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good, what's good, what's good? Welcome to Sunday Roundup. What's going on? Hello, Mr. Big. Hello, Paula. Hope all is well with you and yours. I did have a question today. By default, this is going to be our question when on days that we don't have questions or a poll. And that's the question is going to be, did you do at least 15 minutes of investment research today? And I got one no. And actually, no, let me rephrase. We already have 6 votes, and I've got 83% that said yes, and I got 17% that said no. Gary Angie, what's good? Jeannie Guzman, what's going on? So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot that happened over the past week. I mean, I published 84 articles. Not bad. I mean, it's seriously down from the normal 95 to 105 articles that I do per week, but we had a day off, and I decided to take that day off. Took advantage. And the key themes are crypto adoption and investment by companies and governments, regulatory changes and implication for digital assets, technological advancements in blockchain and crypto ecosystems, strategic corporate developments, including acquisitions and expansions. Then we've got meme coins, their market impacts, and controversies. There have been a bit. We also have financial results and market trends, because that's how it works. I mean, you have everybody reporting their quarterly results, and then you'll have your year-end results as well. We also had security breaches and fraud in the crypto space. We had global trends in digital currency adoption and blockchain integration. And then we had leadership and organizational changes in regulatory and crypto entities. Think SEC, CFTC, Treasury, FDIC, a lot. So yeah, there is a lot. Gary Angie, you did your research. Thank you very much. Because it's a big deal. Oh, snap, Sean. Okay, so Sean, I want to hear news. Any updates? You know what I'm talking about. Don't make me have to say it out loud. Do we get any updates? I want to hear acceptance. Working the weekend shift, lots of year-end financial deadlines to do. Yep, I could figure as much. But I want the updates, young man. Did you get in or not? That's all I care about. And really, I only care if you got in, because that's the only option. That's the only option. Right? I'm sure you got in. That's how confident I am. So yeah, a lot went on over the past week. And I wonder if everybody can recall everything that's happened. You know, as we trudge through, some of these things that have happened. Right? Let's start with some of the smaller things like crypto adoption and investment, right? Fathom Holdings allocates cash reserves to Bitcoin. That's a big deal because they're a publicly traded company. FATHOM is in Michael. Go look them up. Publicly traded company. Hey, Ann, what's going on? So there's a lot there. El Salvador expands Bitcoin reserves. Now, I want you to think about this. They had a deal with the International Monetary Fund, and they were supposed to curtail that, but they didn't. MB Dubai, hope all is well. And they didn't do that. They bought 12 more. They bought 12 more Bitcoin. So I'm just wondering if the deal was, well, if you've already scheduled to buy, finish that, but curtail after X date. So I'm just wondering if that was the deal. I don't know what the deal is, but I find it peculiar that they actually went out and bought. Then you had BlackRock investing $60 billion in Bitcoin. That's a big number. And they're expecting $700,000 to be the new Bitcoin price, I think, this cycle, right? Because it's not going to be this year. It's not. Although it could be. I could see the math working that it could be. I just think that those chances are low, right? Hutanic, what's good? So much news that it's hard to know if it's valid. This is why you do your research. Compare and contrast. If you see news Compare and contrast. Who else is carrying that news? Only find it in one place, make note, move on. And then when you see it someplace else, figure out, is it just regurgitating what somebody else said, or is it their own perspective? That's what I would tell people to do. So yeah, there is a ton of news. If it's all valid, oof. You can validate news. You can validate news. The question becomes, what's the chance of that news coming true? Like $700,000 for Bitcoin by the end of 2025. Possible, for me, doubtful, right? You have MicroStrategy, Bitcoin acquisition plan strengthens. Why? Because their shareholders voted, yeah, let's increase the number of shares so we can get in more money so we can buy more Bitcoin. You can't make that up. That's a fact. That's valid. Gary Angie, I'm going to ask you not to ask me that. There's a rule that we have in looking into different crypto, and that particular one happens to be on my bad boy list because I've been asked that so many times. You have to demonstrate to the community that you've at least done a modicum of research. I will not mention the token that you're asking about, because I haven't seen that you've done a modicum of research, meaning we need to know what the market cap is. No, nothing to be sorry about. I'm using this as an opportunity to let everybody know. Every so often we have to do that. With this particular coin and others, I've named a couple others that fall into this bucket, where they go out and they buy a lot of media to gain attention, and then that makes people wonder about it, and then so they ask other people about it, right? I don't like that. I don't like that at all, because it tells me that they're hyping their project, but I'm not behind that hype. I'm not seeing anything else. So that automatically makes me say, nope, not interested at all. At all. I would be highly surprised if there's a coin that's going to come along that's going to have a unique and distinct idea or a unique and distinct way of doing things that's going to catch my attention beyond these other millions of coins that are out there. Yes, there are millions. So that's why I look at those coins and I kind of go, yeah, I'm not feeling that. Right? So just so you know, going forward, we need, what's the market cap? What's the rank on either CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko? Take your pick. What do they do? What market are they in? Who else is in that market? So that way we can do a compare and contrast. And anything else that you could come up with, like, what's their fully diluted value? Just those kinds of things, right? If you can, do a little bit more research. How many people hold that coin? And what number of people hold the largest amount of coins, right? So you could look at Trump, for instance. Trump, that particular coin, 80% of it is held by one entity, whatever that entity is. But that one coin is held currently, well, at least last week it was held 80% by one entity. So that's why we have it. So that particular coin, they had been doing that. There have been a few coins that have been doing that, and I just refuse. I'm just like, yeah, nah. And I will tell the community, I'm not going to research it. I'm not going to talk about it. If you want to take the chance, I will tell you, sure, because I don't give financial advice. But to answer the question, no, I have not. I will not. But that's not on you, because we have a lot of people that are new to the community and don't know about that. The whole idea of the community, to help us learn and to help each other grow our bags, right? That's why the question is always, did you do your research today? 15 minutes. That's all I ask, 15 minutes. Because that investment, that 15-minute investment is in you. You gaining knowledge, you doing that research, that's an investment in you, and that should always be your first investment. Just saying. Helps you weigh things. You'll learn how to do research. You'll learn what's going on. You'll have a closer finger to the pulse of what's going on in the crypto space or whatever space you're researching. So that's a very big deal. So yeah, nothing to be sorry about. Bahama Boy was good. Let's see. I know I missed a couple of people. It's news overflow. I can't cover it all. You're not supposed to. You don't have to. Hutanic, go in the corner. Just I don't want to hear anything. Just go in the corner. And where's patient one? Here's why he's getting sent to the corner. Before mentioning it, ask the Ouija board. This is what I have to contend with. Just saying. Sorry, I've been so busy this month. I have been working crazy overtime. Yeah, we know what season it is, man. And we know what you do for a living. Heck yeah, you're going to be working overtime. So I've not paid attention to what has been happening. So what do you mean, did I get in? I thought you were going for a certain CPA thing, sir. Ham's house was good. Always researching. That's what I want to hear. What else do we have? Okay, so I got it. Oh, no, Mr. Big says something. MicroStrategy. How is that sustainable? You have to buy and sell to get ahead. I'm out of my realm with that. So here's what'll happen. They will buy crypto, right? Or are you talking about the stock or you're talking about their strategy? From their strategy perspective, I'm going to buy more Bitcoin. Then I'm going to go get loans based on my portfolio, right? And hopefully the price of crypto is at this level, but my value increases over time. So I'll go get a loan right now. Hopefully my value has increased over time where I can pay back in cash. Because remember, they're a company. I can pay back the loans. And every time I take a new loan, I'm paying off because I'm getting higher valuation. So I'm paying off loans and buying more. Wait a little while, pay off loans, buying more. It actually is sustainable so long as crypto continues to go up. Remember, when we hit 69,000 and then we crashed down, MicroStrategy had issues, right? But it all came back and was just fine. At one point, I think their average price was like $35,000 per Bitcoin. So you can see how you have that cycle that you can go through. Now, if you look at that cycle, that's how a lot of wealthy people live as well. They'll go get a loan based on a portion of their portfolio, live off the loan so that they don't actually, get paid. And what they would get paid goes straight to a trust. Trust handles everything. And they just loan, pay back, loan, pay back, loan, pay back. Right? So they don't actually get paid. So you can't get taxed on debt. So they live off of debt. It's one of the tricks of the trade. Leverage looping. Ham's house. Boom. That's a good way to say it. Max Salas, how does one obtain a loan? You have to go to one of these private banks that actually do that kind of stuff. When taxes hit, they're going to be hurting. Yeah, they're already talking about it. Except that it's a maybe. Remember, the more money you make, the more opportunities you have to do certain write-offs that you didn't have access to before. So, yeah, I don't think they're worried about taxes, right? It's gonna be a big bill, but it's not going to be a bill that they didn't think they're aware that they have a big bill coming. I don't think they're worried about it, like at all, right? I just think so. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Mr. Big, excuse me. Thank you for confirming rather. Did I miss anything else? Oh, yes, I am still waiting to get enrolled. Long story short, there was confusion when you applied. Okay, they messed up your application. I've been there. Holy moly, I've been there. So right now I'm just waiting for a reference letter. All right, cool. So it sounds like you're at least moving closer. You're moving in the right direction. They'll probably just let you in because they screwed up. That's what it sounds like. So I'm fingers are crossed, man. Fingers are crossed. You know what I mean? That's a big deal. So, Gary, Angie, do you understand what I'm saying? Did I explain that to you? Please let me know. I'm serious. I need to know that, our community is aware, right? There are people out there that took my class on doing your own research. When you do your own research, you start to take notice of things like that. I'll give you one coin that did it a lot. Block Dag. That coin, I don't know what the heck they do or anything else, but every day for like a while, they were just just all over the place. You couldn't escape them. And this is why I'm just like, yeah, nah, we got to do a little bit more research on that. We got to see what's going on, because when you see them all the time and then you go check their ranking, you kind of go, yeah, that doesn't add up. You check to see who they're in business with or what the FDV is, fully diluted value. You go look at certain things that doesn't pass the sniff test. And then you can write it off. But if you're really good, you'll recognize that as a ploy, as a standard ploy, right? Let's build hype by just flushing the news outlets with these fake articles. And what I mean by fake articles is they're not articles. They're advertisements or advertisements, depending on what country you're from and how you pronounce the word. So that's what they're doing. But they're releasing them as articles. And it's like, it's not really an article. You're just trying to hype your coin. That already gets me like anti your coin, period. And they do it all the time. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I ask people to do their own research. Because you'll start to see stuff like that and you'll be like, oh, I see you. And, maybe if you're curious, you go look at the coin, you go look it up. It takes 60 seconds. Hit coin market cap, boom, 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 boom. You hit all the points and you just go up, out the window. You have other coins that will come out and they're not hyping their coin, right? They're literally talking about what they're actually doing and how they're actually doing it. And not comparing their coin to somebody else's coin, people that used to buy this are now buying that. You know what I mean? That's what we're talking about. That's why I want you guys to be careful. Learn how to do your own research and get out there. There are lots of tips, tricks that you'd learn during the class. I'll be introducing the classes again once we launch the new website, which is soon. Give me a break. Just hold on. We just want to make sure that things work the way they're supposed to work. Shout out to Big Baggers. Did you get in on Griffin? No, I did not. I did not get in on that. I've been busy. I've been busy and I couldn't pull the trigger in time. So no. I hope you got out at the right time. I hope you did get out at the right time. But yeah, I wish I'd have gotten in. Didn't have time. You know what I mean? Like, once I figured out that I've waited too long, I don't try to, chase the crowd. I'm like, nope, not for me. I'll just chalk it up as I missed it. I'll take it on the chin. Not a problem. Yeah, Hutanic. Yeah, we're not going to. No. Stay in a corner. Just stay there. Just stay there. Maybe somebody be nice. Will ship you some pizza or something like that. No beer though. No beer, because that was horrible. You've got regulatory changes. SEC rescinds or recalls SAB 121. Just wondering if that. I think Stitch wanted to come down and he decided against it. All right. Senator Loomis proposes Bitcoin sovereign wealth fund. Right, as well as she's always out there with pro crypto legislation. The EU mandates removal of non-compliant stablecoins under MiCA by the end of first quarter 2025, and the only thing that I can see is that to me that says that you're gunning for Tether, You also have the European Union talking about, oh, we need to hurry up. We need to hurry up and introduce a CBDC. We need to fast track a CBDC. Like, what? Nah, nah, that's not a smart move. So that's one of the things that they're doing. That happened this past week. All of this, just this past week. Those are big things. Those are big things. You've got Vitalik Buterin outlining plans to scale layer 1 and layer 2 solutions. South Korea launching blockchain-based digital IDs. That's interesting. Also cracking down on non-compliant centralized exchanges. MetaMask expands into Bitcoin and other multi-chain ecosystems. Interesting. Really bad analogy. What else do we have? Technological advancements, scaling. That was a big deal. MetaMask getting into Bitcoin. That's huge. I mean, it's a big deal. MetaMask, if you don't recall, specialized in Ethereum. So you had Ethereum based coins that were there, EVM compatible ERC20 based coins that they would tackle. But then they've been expanding, make it easier for you to add other coins to their wallet. Them adding Bitcoin is a big deal. It's another step in that direction. Yo, Kush, what's good? Right? So I kind of like that. Then you've got the new regime has a Trump coin out. There's a lot of hoopla over that coin. They also dropped Melania. Apparently there was a fake Ivanka that was out there. There's a Barron coin that I didn't even bother to go research. I don't know if it was real or not, but I know that, one of his kids, I think his name is Barron, was going to go create his own thing. And I'm just like, wow, everybody's trying to cash in on the name. And it's kind of like, who's Barron and why? Like, you know what I mean? Like this explosion of meme coins, and then Vitalik Buterin had said, listen, politicians with meme coins actually threaten democracy. And yeah, because a politician with a meme coin, I mean, that's straight up an avenue for bribery, period. M55 was good. You have my email, hit me up. Yeah, Mr. Big, Hutanic, Mr. Big dropped that note to you, so pay attention. Who's Ed? Oh, you guys don't know. I hate being called Ed. I hate being called Ed. If you're old enough, you understand. Dead horse. Just saying. I'm looking back at 2021. BTC did not pop until late February of 2021. Yep. Hutanic, do you have Mr. Big's email address? Please confirm. If not, let me know. I can take care of that. Can't wait till we launch the platform, because then I won't have to worry about that crap. You guys could be able to chat amongst each other. We'll have a separate group for the baggers. Yeah, this is what we're testing right now. This is what we're just banging on it. Because we chose a technology. We chose a Microsoft technology, and we're building out on Azure, and we just want to make sure that everything's working the way it's supposed to be working. Because it's a massive upgrade from what we had before. Massive. Ridiculously massive. Knox Bill in the house. What's going on? I'm missing VJ. I'm missing Bianca. There are a few other people I'm missing. Haven't seen Crypto Sticko in a minute. There are a few people I haven't seen in a minute. Thank you, Hutanic. Please look. What else do we have? We have Senator Warren and Representative Auchincloss calling for a probe into the Trump and Melania coins. Rightfully so, but it's not going to go anywhere. Because like I said, the the avenue for bribery is huge when a politician has their own coin. It's huge. It's begging for a bribery problem. Begging for it. I mean, I laid it out before. There used to be a hotel in Washington D.C. And it was owned by the then president, and people would go there and spend an inordinate amount of money at that hotel, knowing that eventually that would flow right to him. With a coin, it's not even as indirect as that. And that was pretty close to being direct. With a coin, it goes straight to. So yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. What else do we have? We've got, let's see, USDC surpasses $50 billion in circulation. So that's a big deal. Bitcoin reaches a new high. That was a big deal. Apparently there was one trade at 109,699. It's just not recognized as the high. So, Hutanic, I can't tell you how stupid of a move that is, man. Seriously. I mean, the avenue that it opens up is just. So I wonder when that coin goes up, right? When that coin goes up in value, you sit there and you're kind of like, knowing that one wallet holds, greater than 50% of the coin. So that should be a hint in the first place, because if that was just a regular coin, nobody would want it because it's not decentralized enough. 80% hold by a single wallet. Nobody's going for that. I know I'm not. One of the major reasons why I like crypto is because of the amount of decentralization. I do not want to get involved with the coin necessarily unless it has that. The Trump coin bag that I hold right now is because it made me money. In and out. In and out. Now I'm just holding this little bit right now because I think down the road, whether it's this year, next year, whenever, down the road, it's going to peak again. I still think it could wind up being $100. Seriously. So, hey P, I'm looking at one. It's checking all the boxes, but I need someone else to take a look at it. Yeah, Mr. Big, you could. No, he's saying he doesn't want to put it out there because Mr. Big doesn't like sharing things publicly. He likes sharing with the big baggers. That's why he's not putting it out there. So if you share it with me via email, I can share it with the rest of the big baggers. Or if you guys have each other's email addresses, that works. But I can understand why he doesn't want to put it out there in public. There's a reason why you're a big bagger, and this is one of those reasons. Hutanic, man. Oh my God. Is that your theme for today? Everybody's just sitting around a board going like this. Oh man. You had Bank of America reporting a data breach affecting hundreds of thousands of customers. Then you've got crypto platform Nunes lost $8 million because of a breach, and that was brought to us by Zach XBT. The controversy with Zach XBT trying to get paid from a coin, yeah, I'm not mad about that. All the work that they do, I'm not mad that, hey, maybe they could get a couple of bucks for all the work they do. I know what that's like when you're putting in real work versus, oh, I just created a meme and I don't do anything else. No, if you're putting in the work, you deserve to get a little something, something. So I'm not mad about that. All right, we've got 11 votes. We have 82% saying that they did their research, and we have 18% that said they have not done their research. Oh yeah, nah, Mr. Big, he's already in the corner. He was in the corner from a while ago when he first said it. He's just, it's my home. Oh my God. It probably is. It probably is. Behind a big steel door, and it's got a little, the bottom is like this much clearing so you can slide a pizza box through. I'm just saying. He's definitely living in the corner the past while. He probably owns the corner. He's probably got a real piece of real estate over there. He's hoping it will go up in value. You know what I mean? In the corner. You guys are horrible. It's horrible. I know Mr. Big is cracking up. ADGM, which is Abu Dhabi Global Management, is attracting global crypto giants because they want Abu Dhabi to be a big capital. Do you see the competition? Do you see the competition? Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Singapore, North Korea, Hong Kong. You could even say South America, right, as a region, right, is trying to make that jump. Yo, what's up, Trading Maverick? Is trying to become that global space. So then really take a step back and think about all the countries that want to have a Bitcoin reserve. Do you see the competition happening? So with all of that competition, all of that adoption, you take a step back and you go, oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. So I can see why, I spoke about it the other day, $500,000, $700,000 Bitcoin could be a possibility this cycle. This year, I don't think so. But you could see how it could. Although slim, you could see how it could. Because think about it. Countries are going for it. Institutions are going for it. Retail is going for it. Then on top of that, you have a lot of US banks that are saying, we want to get involved in crypto. We want to be able to offer custodial services. Well, if you're going to offer custodial services, aren't you going to be selling crypto? Oh, so basically a bank becomes an exchange? Aha. Anne says, I did my research today, but I feel like I'm none the wiser today. Looking to buy today, but have my butt stuck on the fence. All right. Here's something to think about. Sit down and create your dollar cost averaging strategy. I have three things that I play with, right? I've got trading wallets that I trade actively. Put those in one bucket. Then I've got my hodling wallets that I don't trade actively. I leave them there. I've got dry powder for different things that I want to hop into when the opportunity arises. So I've got cash on hand or assets on hand. And then I have my dollar cost averaging strategy. And that means that I've got a set amount of money that I'm allowed to spend, that I must spend every week, putting into whatever, investment vehicle I'm choosing. So I've got digital assets, stocks, bonds, options, treasuries, right? Real estate, businesses, and I've got a certain amount of money for each one of those pots. And then within each one of those pots, I divvy up everything that I want to do. And I just fire off every week. So that way I don't have to think about it. The only thing I'm thinking about is, well, I don't know which coin to buy. That's when I hit up the GMB crypto tracker. I look to see what the GMBX factor is, and that helps me pull together my decisions. And I just keep it moving. So that's why I'm saying I think you should sit down and create your DCA strategy based on your buying preferences and see how that works. So that way you know how much money you're putting in, right? Every so often. It's sort of like when I was a kid. This is where the whole idea comes from for me personally. It was when I was a kid, my mom used to tell me, hey, you're welcome, man. Hey, I want you to take X amount of money from your allowance or money that you earn running errands for people, that kind of stuff, and put that away. So it's the same thing with a dollar cost averaging strategy. I take X amount of money and I put it away. I just don't save it, I invest it. And there's a difference between saving and investing. So for everybody that needs to hear that, I hope that helps. In the corner of a metaverse, where nobody's got goggles. He's such a troublemaker, man. What else do we have? Leadership within the SEC, CFTC, Treasury, FDIC. Right? We had a lot of people get approved. They're taking their positions. We had big changes. Caroline Pham, she appointed Harry Jung to lead the CFTC's crypto engagement. We've got biggest news that I heard. We've got crypto mom Hester Pierce leading the cryptocurrency task force, or the digital assets task force. DATFA, right? And when I look at that, I sit there and I just go, that's awesome. She said what she wanted to do and she got it. I think she's somebody that if she said, I want to be the chair, she would have gotten it. She has a very, very, very pragmatic approach toward crypto. And her gig here will be to not just enforce, but to create what would be enforced, right? So how about we not go after companies that have been knocking on the door, hey, help us, hey, help us, hey, help us. And let's start going after the companies that are clearly doing something wrong. And by the way, let's also help to create rules and regulations that will help foster growth and innovation. Doesn't that make sense? Right? I mean, I get it. For the longest period of time, the SEC has been seen as an enforcement arm. But it's not just an enforcement arm. And that's the problem. The only time you ever heard from the SEC, you're messing up, right? Here's your notice that we're investigating you. For what? Oh, we're not going to tell you that. Your Wells notice. We're not going to tell you why we're investigating you. Just know that you're being investigated. Make you quake in your boots and you don't even know what you did wrong. Or in most cases, you don't know what you did wrong. Some of those companies, they know damn well what they did wrong, right? But she's more the person that will say, well, what is the scope? What's good? What's bad? Let's start defining that. Let's start building out the guardrails so that, these companies, these entities, these people can actually understand what's supposed to happen, what's not supposed to happen. And let's move on from there. That's huge. One of the things that I'm going to be looking at is, if banks are allowed to custody digital assets, the next logical step is they'd also be able to sell you digital assets or obtain them on your behalf or otherwise act like an exchange. That would be, to me, the logical next step. What would make that happen? How would that work? Because then what you have is a ridiculous advantage for banks. And people probably aren't going to notice this. And I brought it up the other day. Banks, because if banks become exchanges, existing exchanges are going to get crushed. And some people are sitting there going, no, not at all. Nah. All right. A few of the largest banks in the country closed 133. Yeah, I think it was 133 branches, right? Okay, cool. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, whatever. Cool. All right. But what they have are still hundreds of branches around the country that people would be able to walk into and handle their banking. And if they're an exchange, handle exchange stuff. What? That's a big deal. Now I want you to think about this. Some exchanges, when you deposit money, make you hold it there. Like Coinbase will make you hold it there for 5 days. You can make trades and everything, but you can't pull it off the exchange for 5 days. If banks are allowed to become exchanges, I don't know that they're going to be able to have that rule. If I deposit cash, that cash is there instantly. If I deposit a check, that check is supposed to clear within 24 hours. Mine, instantly. I can do whatever I want. Now, there's a weakness for banks that would also pop up in that if I deposited my money for the sole purpose of getting into crypto and I walk into the bank and I just say, give me all my crypto. And a whole bunch of other people say, give me all my crypto. They're not geared for what exchanges currently deal with, which is the constant in and out of digital assets. So there's going to be a curve for both. How would, so crypto exchanges would have to step up their banking side. Banks would have to step up their exchange side. And again, this to me is just logical next steps. But then I'd be looking toward the SEC and other government agencies like the OCC to say, this is how we expect you to operate. Thank you very much. Oh, that's interesting. That'd be cute. So yeah, there's a lot going on. And again, everything that I'm talking about today, all of it is just in the past 7 days. All of it, just within the past 7 days. So information overload? Sure. Sure. If I'm a part of your research, then compare and contrast. Trust but verify. Take what I tell you, go do the research on it and see if you agree, disagree, or verify what I'm saying. Maybe you'll even come back and be like, hey, Eddie, I think you got this fact wrong. Go fix that. I'm cool with that too. That's what the community is all about. Now, let me get back to what Hutanda was saying. Also, know how much you are keeping long term and not liquidate that bag. That way, if you missed your short term goal, you still have a long play active. True, that could be something that you could do. That's why I tell people you have to create your own DCA strategy. So that particular part would work for somebody like me, works for somebody like Hutanic, might not work for other people. That's why you got to keep at it. I hone my strategy every single week. How am I doing here? How am I doing there? I'm just surveying, as they say, surveying my land. I'm just surveying my land. Oh, piece of garbage landed on my land. Let me get that out of here. See what I mean? All of it is a lot of work. So fractional crypto reserve in banks. Fractional? I don't understand what you mean by fractional, sir. Or miss. I don't know. They, them, you. Don't know. Bolar, what's going on? So yeah, there's a lot that has gone on over the past week that we need to consider this week. How is that going to affect us this week? The CFTC has already cleaned house. A lot of the head honchos, bags packed, thrown into the street. Deuces. Now, before people go insane, I want to bring another fact to the table. I've said this before. How many of you actually did the research that I asked you to do by going out and researching Jay Clayton, former SEC head, hired by the previous version of this regime? Not a fan of crypto. Just like that previous regime. Not a fan of crypto. Now, fast forward. Oh my Lord, you can make a lot of money off of this. It's so easy. It's more direct. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, we love crypto. Oh, we love crypto. Yeah. Let that wash over you for a little bit. So you really do have to stop and understand, minds change as the wind blows. I'll give you a contrasting idea. Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, was not a fan of crypto. His team got to him, broke it down for him, showed him, blah, blah, blah. Remember, this guy really is smart. Like, really smart. It broke it down for him. He came out publicly, was like, holy moly, not that I love crypto now, because I do, but aside from that, I was wrong before. Big difference. Huge difference. I love crypto now, and I was wrong before. He said it out loud, full-chested, on camera. I was wrong before. Yeah. So you have a guy like that saying, not only was I wrong, but holy moly. And now look at what BlackRock is doing. Look at what BlackRock is doing. They're playing the stages of crypto regulation going forward. They're playing the stages. You don't think BlackRock knows that eventually their Bitcoin ETF is going to go down to jack? Why is that? Because more people are going to pull out their money and go get Bitcoin directly. So what did they file for? Oh, well, we can give you back like for like. Oh, that's huge. Why are they doing that? Because they're going to prepare for more traditional ETFs within the crypto space. That's my speculation. That's my speculation. So when I look at everything that they've been doing and everything that they're going to do, I sit back and I go, wow, that's thought process. That's backing up what he said. I was wrong before. I have seen the light, and this is what we're doing. I have yet to hear the new regime actually say, I was wrong before. I have seen the light. Give it the same amount or level of thought that Larry Fink and his team have and how they're moving forward. I don't see that. The reason why I bring that up is because I'm not expecting a pragmatic approach to anything with regard to digital assets from the current regime. Period. Period. I think we'll get lucky. I mean, you do have a guy like David Sachs who's leading up, he's the crypto czar, right? He's a really smart guy too. Larry Fink level smart? Don't know. But he's a really smart guy. But that means you're not actually leading anything, right? You're relying on others to just do stuff. And then I replay for you everything that happened with the Trump, Melania, Ivanka, Barron coins. Case in point. Larry Fink said I made a mistake, got educated, and started creating a strategy. That's not what's going on here. I'm going to appoint people, and some would say that this is what you're supposed to do. I'm going to appoint people that know more than me about certain things, and I'm going to move forward. Larry Fink can say the same thing, but he's also getting educated about it because it's that big of a deal. You want to create a strategic reserve about something that you yourself do not understand and have a problem with that. Because that means that somebody's got to whisper in your ear. That to me is not a sign of leadership. So I wonder about what kind of things are going to happen, how they're going to be implemented, all that other good stuff. I hope for the best. I honestly do. No matter who the president is, right? No matter what party they come from, their success is this country's success. Straight up. And I am not a fan of the new regime. However, their success would be this country's, or should be this country's success. And that's what I hope for. So with all that research, I sit back and I look at the moves that are going on at the CFTC, the moves that are going on at the SEC. So far, I like what I see. Give credit where credit is due. I'm not going to have people that are only focused on enforcing. And enforcing what? Because to me, I'd be clearing house too. Were you a part of the people that actually said, hey, maybe before you enforce, maybe you should try to help. Maybe you should go reach out to these companies so that you can learn. Stop trying to enforce laws from 100 years ago on things that are innovative and brand new right now. They don't necessarily work. Were you outspoken on that? Hester Pierce was. Hester Pierce was. So yeah, a lot of these agencies are getting cleared the hell out. Word. We need a bunch of people in there that are going to think appropriately and not just think, I'm going to wag my finger at everybody and call it a day. That's not how it's supposed to work. That's not how it can work. Break the system like that. What's going on, Go Fatima? The guy with finance. Well, let me see. He is full flank crypto to the point it makes me uncomfortable. Possibly, but he's got a whole team focused on it. And all they do is investment. I'm not worried about it. It's the only one that I'd be worried about is Bitcoin. Finite number of coin, right? Everything else, I'm not worried at all. And some people might go, why aren't you worried? I'm not worried at all because they don't have finite amounts of crypto, amounts of coins, right? So you controlling that, diminished. Diminished. And the more that people learn, the more that people do their own research, the more that people will understand that they can go get it themselves. Done. Done. Front man, and I love it. What's good? I just think BTC, Mr. Big, I think BTC is doomed. Everyone wants it. And when it's gone, they move on to the next. No, they will try to leverage it. They'll try to do all kinds of things. I don't think it's doomed. I think people that misuse it, it'll be doomed. It will be doomed for them. But I'm going to DCA into Bitcoin no matter what, period. Going for it. All about it. Why? Because I don't want to be left behind. I do not want to be left behind. I want to be able to leverage my Bitcoin, whatever pitlin little bitty bit I have, right? The same way they do. But I'm being bright about it and saying, I've got a portfolio of digital assets that I'm covering. A percentage will be Bitcoin, a percentage will be everything else. I'll move on from there and just keep growing and keep doing. DCA, 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 DCA. I think the difference between, the haves and have-nots is going to continue to grow until we fix that problem. Right? Every time somebody points out something that even remotely looks like trickle-down economics, I sit there and I go, if trickle-down economics was going to work, then the wealth gap between the wealthy, the rich, and the poor would not be growing. Full stop. Full stop. Mr. Big, I have learned BTC is a bull that can't be understood. Traders make less than holders. So far, that's been true. Here's how I think things will really change. When you stop denominating things by your local fiat. When you go to these exchanges, they denominate things by Bitcoin. They'll show you your local fiat, but they denominate things by Bitcoin. When people stop denominating by their local fiat, that's when you're going to see the change. That's when you will see the change. Ham's house, it's arguably the best store of value ever created. Yeah, that's a perfect statement. Arguably the best store of value ever created. Yeah. I can agree to that. At some point, the only Bitcoin out there is not going to be held by, exchanges and things. It's going to be held by people. And you're probably not going to give it up. It'll trade within a very tight circle. And you're not going to be able to acquire more without cutting deals. So somebody that's sitting on a few 100,000 Bitcoin might have to kick up some of that Bitcoin. Now, here's the kicker. Let's suppose that time happens. You're going to find that some entities might say, I'm willing to give you more money over giving you Bitcoin. Think about that. And if it's all owned by private entities, how do you track the value of Bitcoin publicly? Everything becomes, an OTC transaction. There are a lot of things that need to be worked out before, those changes happen. Will they happen in my lifetime? Most likely not. My kids' lifetimes? Possibly. My grandkids that aren't here yet? Most likely, in my humble opinion. fiat is going to wind up going away. I don't think there will be a single coin. I think there will be many. And right now, I'm just trying to focus on figuring out which ones will be a part of that many. Because obviously, a lot are just bubbles waiting to be popped. They'll all go away. Straight up. So that's what I'm looking at. That's honestly what I'm looking at. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of research, and this is one of the reasons why we keep doing our own research. You start off with 15 minutes a day, you'll find out that you'll be doing greater than that very quickly as you start to realize, I need to learn how to connect the dots. I need to learn how to add color. I need to learn how to step back and see what the picture actually is. Because up close, it's just going to look like a blur. Step back, then you actually get to see, oh, that's what that is. Just saying. Sorry, think about it. When you were young, it was gold and diamonds. The negotiation. I don't understand that last sentence. And the negotiation, don't value it. I don't get that. We would be looking to cash out when BTC dominance falls from 60 to 48. Maybe. Depends on what you think is going to happen. I'm not going to put a number on it. I think that there's more than just numbers that would be at play for me to make a decision like that. Alts will moon because the liquidity comes from BTC. I don't think it's just BTC, right? My first go around, I rode all the alts up after BTC, then crashed out back into BTC, never converted to fiat. Okay, glad that worked for you. Doesn't work for everybody. I think there's a lot more that has to be considered than just numbers. I don't know what you mean by El Salvador is a sleeper right now. From what regard? From that statement, I could care less because it doesn't affect my bag. There's nothing that El Salvador is doing that's going to affect my bag. Other than it's another sovereign entity that's involved with Bitcoin as a strategic reserve. Then you have Russia that wants to do it, United States that wants to do it, so many other countries that want to do it, and so many other countries that have the money to do it. There's the rub. Yeah, Mr. Big, yep. I don't think Bitcoin is the driver of the market. There are just too many factors. And a lot of them are non-numeric. A lot of them are the deals that are happening, the regulations that are happening. There's so many things that affect the Web3 space. So many things that affect the Web3 space. That's why I do my research every day. Do your own research. Know your entries and exits. Invest deliberately. That's the GMB3, Ham's house. That's the GMB3. Must do that. Must. Absolute must. If you don't, you could run into problems. Mind you, the rules of the GMB3, guess what? They can be applied to just about any investment. And believe it or not, even outside of investment, they can be applied. Those are good rules. Those are very good rules. Anyway, everybody, I'm going to get back to my football game. This is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you have a good one. I hope you enjoyed what I was doing here today. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button, right? Subscribe to the channel. And if you can, I'm telling you now, you've seen the conversations that happen, these side conversations that happen between big baggers. Go to growmybag.tv/sign-up and become a big bagger. Why? Because we have a monthly video conference call where we all get around and share notes, opinions, thoughts, ideas, tips, and tricks so we can help each other grow our respective bags. That's a very big deal. Hold It Front Man had something to say. It was, what I believe is happening in the background now is Trump has been asked not to mention any specific coin. The U.S. is accumulating at this moment. I don't know about that. I think the reason why he's not mentioning single specific coins is because people have made it well worth their while to not do so. The Trump coin could have been launched anywhere. It was launched on Solana. So what are we talking about? Binance, Bitcoin, Solana, XRP. Excuse me. As a part of that, strategic reserve, crypto reserve. So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. Fiat on ramps have increased in orders of magnitude this cycle. Boom. That one. 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 Which is why I was saying that if banks become exchanges, I can walk into a bank branch, which is something that Coinbase doesn't have, Gemini doesn't have, none of these fools have. So imagine, then on top of that, imagine the amount of people that are going to need to take classes on digital assets. It's huge. It's huge. I mean, don't get me wrong, front man. That's a good point. Except I think it went the other way because because I was thinking, why would you just do Bitcoin? Oh, it's got a finite number. I totally get it. Totally understand it. And then they changed the wording to everything being digital assets and not Bitcoin. And then I was like, oh. And then you see the coin come out, right? You see how much, Garlinghouse is over there talking, with the new regime. And I'm like, oh, this is all big stuff. Dula Jody, what's going on? Fultz, what's going on? Hutanic, don't forget to hit up Mr. Big. If you don't have his email address, reach out to me. You definitely have mine, and I'll make the connection. Let's see. All right, that's it. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, if you haven't had a chance to catch the whole show, you can go back over to YouTube, and you'll be able to see